Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. My name is Oystein Stolberg, and we're here at the Institute for Culinary Arts, where we're hanging out with chef coach Dr. Janet Marr.
Hello there.
So many titles I can't even pronounce it anymore.
Not enough.
I'll get you a couple more.
Okay.
Her Majesty, Chef Coach.
Good.
Yeah, it got a good ring to it, doesn't it?
The Empress or
The
Dowager,
Empress,
whatever.
even better.
Exactly.
I like it.
I'm in control.
Of course. So we got a whole bunch of stuff right here.
It's right up my, ethnic alley.
Yeah?
I hope you know what you're talking about.
I'm a pretty good liar if I don't, so we'll wing it and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So what all do we have here? Like, what are we making?
Well, the first thing we're making spring rolls for this session.
Awesome.
Fried spring rolls.
Nice.
Okay. So first thing we do, obviously, is to make the filling because it has to cool down before you can wrap it.
Yeah.
So I see that you have a whole variety of things. You empty out the refrigerator.
I kind of went crazy. I must admit, I kind of went crazy. The good thing about them is that you can really fill it with whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Right? So if you got leftover rotisserie chicken or leftover barbecue pork or whatever, you can season up whatever to work out pretty nice.
Yeah.
So,
and remember when I was younger, I used to make spring rolls, but you know what I put in?
nah?
Chocolate and nuts. So there's a sweet. So it's hot and gooey when you
Nice.
put it in. Yes.
I knew I liked you. I knew there was a reason. Okay, so we got some pork sausage that we just kind of started. You can also add it raw, but I figured that it would just take longer to fry, so we just get all kind of funky and dark by the end of it. So we just kind of sauteed it a little bit. Got some sliced shallots. I just kind of sliced them just pretty roughly, like it's all going to come together anyways.
So is shallot better than onion, or
I like
like
more.
it?
They're just a little bit milder, so you can kind of add more of them. Like they're not as harsh as onions, but for you can totally use regular onions too, but it'll work just the same. Like they're both quite magical. We got a little bit of garlic, so I'm just gonna kind of just grate. I'm just gonna use the microplane and just grate them right in. It really just kind of gets all the oils out of them and makes them really nice and delicious. There.
Oh, that's a lot. I like garlic, so
Yeah.
there's never enough garlic.
It's delicious. There's, I'm just gonna grate them right in.
So
But you can, just about anything can go in there, like sweet, savory. I'll use mousse one. It's pretty delicious.
Mousse?
Yeah, like a mousse little spring roll.
Oh,
We got mousse. We got spring roll wrappers. Let's mousse
so
it
you
out.
eat it when it's still hot, or you cool it down a little bit?
Yeah, we made like a lingonberry little dipping sauce to go with it.
Really?
It was very I don't know, different, but it was nice. So I got some ginger here. So I'm just gonna use the side of a spoon to kind of peel some of that skin off. I find the spoon is just easier to use than a
Much
peeler.
easier. And then you have less waste because you don't have to cut around.
And it's just easier getting into all the crooks because no ginger is ever the same. Like they look like my toe. Maybe not as
We
bad.
don't need to know.
So it just makes it easier. I'm just going to grate a little bit of that.
And what are the Asian flavors that you're putting in? Are you going Chinese, Vietnamese, or
I'm going like Norwegian.
Norwegian fusion?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I just kind of went shopping in dry stores and oh, I like that, and then that's the good thing about it. Like there's really no limitations to what you can put in there. Like you can really go crazy with it, which is like a lot of fun. Like I love going crazy. So I'm gonna add a little bit of jalapeno. So I'm just gonna.
I can smell this.
So I'm just gonna cut the core out to kind of get rid of the seeds. If they can just kind of be pesky. If you like the heat,
Yeah.
then you can leave them in there.
But why put the heat in when you can make dipping sauces that will give you
Exactly.
heat? So it's more
This just makes it a little bit more versatile.
right.
But you can add however many you want. Like you can use habaneros, you can use serranos. Like you use like bird's eye chilies and stuff like that, and just about anything will work. So just gonna mince it all up, and adding these kind of seasonings while it's on the heat is just gonna help get the flavor out of them a little bit faster as well. Because they don't necessarily have to cook, because you're gonna fry them again afterwards, but
Right.
it just kind of helps getting some of those kind of essential oils going out of it. But it's already smelling pretty tasty. isn't
Yeah.
it?
And, these different color vegetables make it also visually appealing too.
Yeah. Like it just smells like something I would like to eat.
Wish the smell aroma.
Oh, I got one at home. I can bring it in next time.
Think about it.
Yeah. Okay, so here we got some pork. This is just marinated with soy sauce, and some honey in there, mirin, a whole bunch of stuff. Then it just got roasted, so it's just salty, like just super like mega umami pork. I'm just gonna add that in, and I got some roasted chicken thighs. I'm just gonna go like crazy. Just gonna add everything in there.
Jeez, like a meal to itself already.
Oh yeah. Like I just take a spoon and just eat it straight out. Like it'll be
There's
delicious.
nothing wrong with making a lot more filling than you need, because there's always.
Put it in little baggies. You can put them in the freezer, or you can just make a whole bunch of spring rolls, freeze them, and they can go straight from the fryer straight from the freezer into the fryer, and they'll hold up. They'll hold up real nice. Oh, that's smelling real good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little bit of sprinkle of salt and pepper. You can go a little bit low on the salt, because we're gonna add some soy sauce and fun stuff like that afterwards too. A bit of pepper, and then we got a little bit of sesame oil.
Oh, I love sesame oil.
Yeah, I just love that just kind of roasty kind of nuttiness to get out of it. We got a little bit of soy sauce, just a little dash. We got a little bit of mirin, which is like a little cooking wine. Just a little dash. That'll just kind of help counter the soy a little bit, because mirin's a little bit sweet. So they really just kind of balance each other out real well. We got some sesame seeds, just a good bit. And we're just going to chop up a little bit of cilantro. And just kind of like a little rough chop on them. And I like adding the cilantro stems too, like they got great flavor.
That's where the flavor.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't like cilantro, you can substitute parsley or whatever, right?
Totally. Yes. Good chunk of deliciousness. There.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a little bit of lime zest.
This must be like 20 ingredients here.
Oh yeah, at least. I added like half a country worth of ingredients. But it's smelling delicious, though. You can't deny it.
Right, and you cross multi borders.
Oh yeah, I'm all about just mingling. Right there, just a good amount of little zesty, and give it a little squeeze of juice in there too.
Yeah, cut the fat.
Oh yeah, it's all about the balance. It's the yin and the yang.
Yeah, whatever. Yin, yang.
I watched Kung Fu Panda like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So that's kind of everything in there right now. Then we got shredded Napa cabbage.
Okay, essential ingredient, texture, crunch.
Yep. And they just kind of help deliver everything together. So I think we just kind of dump all of this in here.
Okay, you go ahead.
And so going in hot is just kind of wilt down and soften up the cabbage a little bit.
Now, some spring roll I know have those cellophane noodles. That's an option you can put in if you wish.
I'm not a too big, like I like using the cabbage because it kind of keeps a little crunch to it, and they don't fall down on my cheek when I eat them. It's completely selfish reasons. I'm gonna grate a little bit of carrot in there, just like 1 carrot or so. I feel like a little penguin. I'm a little T-Rex green carrot. I'm just gonna grate that right in.
Fairly fine.
Yeah, like you can kind of go whatever. Like you can just kind of have it just chopped up too if you don't have a box grater. Just kind of cook it small so it'll have time to finish kind of all together.
sometimes you can prepare all this in advance.
Oh,
so-
totally. Like if it gets to sit a couple of days, it's only gonna get better. This thing scares me. Norway
Yeah.
called it mother-in-law.
You're giving them a bad name.
No, like I love them, but they still got this element of frightening. Like that's their job, I think. Out there, and all I gotta do then is just kind of get in there and just
Toss.
yeah. This just smells right.
Yeah, these kind of filling, it could be anything that you want. You can be vegetarian if you wish,
Oh, easily, yeah.
and you can use it in any kind of thing. You don't have to do it in spring rolls. You can do
Steam
Chinese
buns
wontons.
Oh,
And
yeah.
things like that. Or Mexican tamale. How about that? Filling.
Oh, I like the way you think, Janet. I think you might be onto a little business idea here.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's do it. Food
Yeah.
truck. Pop up.
But like all these ingredients, like you can really just add it to like just a summer salad too. Like you can let all the meat and stuff
That's
cool
true.
down.
That's true.
And I like adding just crunching in like dry ramen noodles in there, and just kind of make like a little
Oh, dry ramen noodles.
yeah. And then you just add like a little orange soy vinaigrette. type
Oh,
thing.
okay.
And it's just
like Chinese, the Asian
Yeah.
chicken salad.
yeah,
They-
and it's just super nice and fresh and just delicious. Right there, so that cabbage is kind of starting to wilt down, and now we just got to let this kind of sit and cool a little bit before we start the wrapping process.
Okay.
Yeah, you just kind of want to let it sit and melt. If it can sit overnight, it's awesome if you can. But if not, just cool, it'll be all right.
Or,
so,
if you want to use it fairly soon, you can spread it out on a larger sheet pan so it'll cool down
totally,
faster.
totally. Oh yeah. But like I totally suggest making big batches and just freeze them because it's so easy. So we're gonna start nibbling on this a little bit and pretend we didn't.
Yeah.
So we'll be back here in a little bit and we'll show you guys how to roll these little puppies up. So just stay tuned. Hi, welcome back, and we're here at the Institute for Culinary Arts where Janet just challenged me to a roll-off.
I did not do that, but
Okay. Okay, so we got our filling. We got it's like peeking under the Christmas tree. What's under here?
the wrappers. So we're gonna do fry, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fried spring roll. So we have wrappers underneath just to keep it moist so it's not brittle because they are very thin. So you can
you-
buy these at
Yeah.
most Asian grocery, in fact, all Asian grocery store, and I suspect that you probably can get them in a regular grocery store.
Yeah, I've seen both these ones and wontons and stuff at like regular grocery stores. Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now is show you how to wrap. And
These are just very, very thin and fragile.
very thin,
Yeah.
and they come vacuum sealed, so you sort of have to gently peel them off
Yeah.
one at a time, or if you have helpers, they can be peeling while you're wrapping.
It's like the more proficient you get, like you can lay out a couple of them, but don't start out with that because it takes a little bit kind of getting used to.
Right. So to wrap, I just put them at an angle. And the other thing when I was growing up is like I like to stuff them, but it's not the best idea because then you can't wrap, you can't fold them, and
It's more
they
chance
sort
of
of
just
start
exploding
spilling
and frying
out.
and stuff. Yeah.
So you want to put your amount of filling, and with experience, you figure out how much to put in.
Yeah.
Somewhere
like-
about a third way up.
yeah,
from
so
the
like
bottom.
a quarter cup, third of a cup ish of filling or something. Yeah.
So I just like to pile it up a little bit, and then you fold the tip end in, and then I like to do a little tuck. So make sure your filling is
Nice and tight.
Nice and tight. And when I was growing up, my mother's warning to me is that gotta make them tight because you don't want them to falling out while you're eating.
Yeah.
So you tuck in just to make sure. Do a couple rolls, and
roll
then
it about like halfway over. or so?
halfway over, and then fold one end over where you roll, and then fold the other end over tight, and then just hold it, and then sort of tuck it a little bit, and then continue rolling it up. And then near the end, just like pie dough or whatever pastry, you Put a little water on the end tip, and then roll it over. You always, when you're making, you always want to keep the tip underneath to just keep it in place.
Yeah, because once it's going to start drying, it's just going to start peeling back and all that stuff.
So that's it. How big, how small, depends on what you want to use it for.
All right, so we got our rolls. We're gonna put together a quick little sauce.
Okay, great.
Like a little Scooby Dooby sauce. So we got some soy sauce. This is a light soy sauce. Mm-hmm. So it's not as salty. Like it's just a little bit milder, but it's very, very tasty.
So is it similar to the Japanese tamari sauce or something, which is light spice?
Like the tamari sauce is like a gluten-free sauce, and it's milder, and it's just pretty nice and pleasant. Like I like them a lot, especially if it's I'm gonna dip something in it, or if you're gonna cook with it and kind of reduce it a little bit. It's pretty tasty stuff. So I just added a little bit of sugar in there. Got a little bit of rice wine vinegar. Whoop.
I like rice wine vinegar.
I like it because it's not very harsh. Like it's a sweeter kind of vinegar. Like it's very mellow, and you can really use it for a lot of cool things. Like it's great for pickling. Like it's I love it.
Oh yeah, quick pickling is.
Oh
nice.
yeah, like if you're making the veg for like little sandwiches and stuff like that. Like it's excellent. So just added a little bit of chili oil. Then we're gonna grate a little bit more garlic. If you want to, you can cut it up and sweat it a little bit too, but when you get it as fine as with the microplane, you won't need to. And if it sits for an extended period of time in the soy sauce as well, like it's gonna kind of mellow it out a little bit. So
because this sauce, you're not gonna cook it again. It's just it. So.
Yeah, it's just a very, very straightforward, simple sauce. But you can make it in batches and just let it sit in the fridge. And like the garlic, and I'm going to add some ginger too. It's just going to keep kind of giving more and more flavor. So it's just going to get quite delicious by the end of it. But if you want to, you can add like a little sesame oil in here too. You can add like a little chopped up cilantro. You can add a little bit of like sriracha or something if you want like a little bit more spice. I even like adding a little bit of lime juice or lime zest.
I tasted the filling in between.
You tasted it?
Sorry, but you know.
I did too. I must admit.
Well, you started first. So I think it's good for you. It's good for me. Yeah. I like the lime flavor, the citrusy note. In it.
Yeah, I think it's just lime and cilantro together. It just sounds very like Latin American thing to say, but like it is really a fantastic combination. Like it's super, super delicious. So I try and use it kind of whenever I can. So I'm gonna grate a little bit of ginger, just kind of to taste. Just be wary when using ginger and garlic just kind of straight raw like this. It is going to get stronger as it sits. But if it gets too strong, just add a little bit more soy sauce and a little bit more vinegar and sugar. And it'll kind of do its thing.
So what if you sweat it first, like garlic and ginger, so that sort of mutes the flavor?
It mutes it, and it brings out more of the flavor kind of instantaneous, so it won't change as much kind of over time, which is good. Alters the flavor a little bit.
Makes it milder.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more predictable to use. But I kind of like the sharpness of it. Like cooked garlic versus raw garlic, like it's completely different. So I try to use fresh if I can, but I don't know. Sometimes cooked is pretty nice too.
What do you think of? I noticed that at the Asian grocery store, they have these pre-made ginger garlic paste. I think it's used a lot in.
It's used a lot.
Indian cuisine.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
Me neither.
Like it just doesn't. It's like kind of like that prepared horseradish you buy. Like it's like 90% radish and 10% horseradish, and like even the garlic and the ginger and even like a lot of the herb paste and stuff they have too. Like it just doesn't taste right.
Right.
And it's so easy to just use it fresh. Like just have microplane, you just grate it in there, stir around, and boom. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Just as long as you use enough of it, like even at the grocery store, I just usually just nap off a little piece of ginger,
Yeah.
like a little thumb-sized
That's how I
piece.
shop too. So I
Yeah.
don't need the entire.
I only need
Yeah.
I only need a finger's worth. I only need to take a finger's worth, and I haven't stopped me yet, so I think it'll work out. So that's about all we're gonna add in here. Like it's super
Okay.
super easy.
So it's a good idea to make it a little ahead to
Yeah.
let the flavor marry.
Yeah. Because if you let it sit overnight, like it's gonna draw so much out of the garlic and so much out of the ginger. It's just gonna be a jolly poly, wonderful sauce. But like it's just pretty too. Like just the oil just kind of pearling on top. Like it's just a pretty sauce. I like pretty sauces. All right, so we got our dipping
Okay.
sauce.
So what's up
We,
next?
now we got to fry stuff. We get to play with like hot oil and things. So we got a Dutch oven with some wicked hot oil in there. It's in about 350, 360, somewhere around there. So we just got a little bit of that the wrappers that we use to wrap them in, and just kind of throw a little piece in. If it sits on top and sizzles,
Yeah.
we're dancing.
Yeah, much better than using a thermometer because
Oh yeah.
most of the time it's for salt falls in and then you
Oh.
just,
Thermometers
say
are
goodbye to
thermometers are silly. Like either use like a wooden skewer or just take a
Oh.
piece of dough or even just throw like small speckles of water. Just very, very small speckles of water. Don't ever try and pour a whole cup in there because it's gonna get crazy. But it's a good way. Like if it floats and sizzles instantaneously,
then you're it.
we're dancing. Alright, so I'm gonna try and pop some of these ones in. You wanna be careful so it doesn't get too hot. If we could start getting like 370, 380, they're just gonna brown up too fast. Like they won't heat through just in time.
It's probably not a good idea either to just throw it into the oil. So
Oh yeah. You wanna just be very careful when kind of lowering them in. And whenever I fry in the stove like this, I always have something I can use as a lid, either the lid itself or a pan or something like that. Because like grease fires are real. Like it's not some magical myth that they came up to sell fire extinguishers. Like it actually happens, and it's extremely dangerous. So if that were to happen, like turn off the oil, put a pan on it, and just let it choke out. Because it's sketchy. So I'm just gonna kind of carefully just kind of pop them in.
how long does it take, you think, approximately?
This one, I'd say about 2-3 minutes, maybe.
So
like-
everything is cooked, so you're just
Exactly.
basically getting browning of the skin.
Yep.
The
Because
wrap.
like if you were using raw sausage and stuff like that, it would take quite a bit longer. But these ones, since they're already cooked, I think they'll come together just fine. I'm just gonna keep kind of shuffling them around a little bit, make sure they're not getting all sticky. Yeah, they're looking pretty. So I got one here I can take out as a little example. Like so, this one didn't seal up all the way tight, so it kind of started to unravel a little bit. Sometimes that'll happen, like especially if you're using water. Like it's a little bit trickier getting like the longer they can sit and dry, it'll help out a little bit. If you're using egg whites, it'll make them a little bit more stable. But like you can still fry them like this, as long as it doesn't start squirting too much off the sides. Like they'll still do their thing.
Another thing I do is like make a starch slurry, which is just water and cornstarch, and use it as a glue.
Yeah. That's very clever.
Stick around with me. Come on, I like these babies. I'm gonna.
Oh, they
throw
are
them in.
cute. Yeah, let's throw them in.
I hope they don't unravel.
No, they'll hold up. But yeah, like once you start adding that stuff, it's gonna drop in temp a little bit. So you always just kind of want to be adjusting a little bit, either higher or lower, kind of depending as it goes. And then just kind of try and turn them around a little bit, just so I kind of get just a nice even golden on them. Yeah, these are frying up real good. Oh, this is gonna be some Scooby-Doos. You know what's one of my favorite kind of spring roll moments? Banana chocolate.
Oh yeah, well,
Oh,
you know the sweet one.
It's so good. It was like banana chocolate and a little creme anglaise used as a dipping sauce. Oh, it was filthy. But these ones, you can also bake them as well, right? Like you don't have to necessarily fry them.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Yeah.
So like if you want to be a little healthier and all that stuff. So you can just give them a little bit of pan spray and kind of throw them in the oven. And they'll still crisp up and they'll do their thing. They'll be like a little bit tougher. And they're by no means going to be as greasy and delicious. But
Do they
there's-
turn color though in the oven? I never done it in the oven, so
They will, as long as you kind of give them a little, like kind of rub them down with a little bit of oil first.
A
Like,
little bit.
Yeah, but like it's a lot slower, but they'll still do it. It's just I don't know. I prefer fried, but I don't know. It works. But yeah, it's a little process. But I think this oil was pretty clean too, so they're just not taking on as much color. But they're getting pretty nice and crispy.
So the trick is to mix them ahead, cooling down while you fry
Yeah.
the rest, so you can snack on the way.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
energy to help you
I like snacking.
carry on.
Snacking is one of my favorite hobbies.
Well, that's the whole thing. When you cook, you keep snacking, tasting. By the time you're done, you don't really feel hungry anymore.
Oh yeah. These are sizzling up pretty good. Yeah, so this oil is pretty clean, so they're not gonna get much color, but they're nice and crispy. So we can start and fish these little puppies out. Yeah, so some of them will just kind of explode a little bit, and that'll just happen sometimes.
That's when my mother said, "You're too greedy. You stuff too much."
Yeah,
But
it's alright. I'm still gonna eat them all gone.
okay. So you just lift them out of the oil, put them on a towel to sort of wick off excess fat, and then that's it.
Yeah, just so it doesn't get too greasy on the plate. And then I just pop them on there. And just make a little pile. I'm gonna put your mini ones on there too.
I was going to say, let's eat it.
Yeah. Oh, we can still eat it.
Okay, fine.
And then we just add a little bit of the dipping sauce.
Okay. So it's a great appetizer plate.
Yeah, and it's super easy. And everything can be done ahead. You just gotta fry them, put them on there.
Great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for finally showing up for our little roll off.
Well, thank you
was
for
pretty
inviting me.
It was a good time. So, quick little appetizer or entree or dessert or whatever you want it to be.
That's right.
So be sure to check out our website. All the recipes should be on there and everything. I think we're about time we eat some little spring rolls.
Yeah.
So you guys just stay tuned for future episodes, and thank you again.
Thank you.
You guys stay cooking.